first day of the first ever Swiss stage at the League of Legends World Championship has concluded, and what a day it was. There were close games, stomps, and everything in between as the best players in the world faced off for the Summoners Cup. Let's break the day down, shall we? The best matches sometimes come from the most unexpected places. When T1 and Team Liquid were drawn together, we were all expecting a nice easy game where Team Liquid would draft scaling, do nothing, and wait to die like they usually do in Worlds. But that wasn't the case at all. Thanks to a combination of T1 still not really knowing how to draft or macro, some misplays, and Team Liquid taking a massive jump in quality, this was a very fun game to watch. Yosik once again proved he has voodoo magic against T1, as he was everywhere he needed to be exactly when he needed to be there. I went to my fridge to get a drink, Yosik popped out and Warhawk kicked me into the entirety of Team Liquid. But because this is North America and we aren't allowed to have nice things, someone had to drop the ball. Yawn. What were you doing, man? I know he's a rookie and it was almost an unplayable Aphelios angle, but that second part is his own fault for not having a bigger champion pool. Why are you blowing Cleanse and Flash at level 3 when you aren't under threat? Why are you going down almost 70 CS? Why is your Aphelios gun management so terrible? It isn't much of an overstatement to say Yawn solo lost this game for Liquid. I say much because it's also the fault of his team. You can see your AD carry doesn't have the proper guns. Why are you fighting that? What was Summit hoping to accomplish by going that aggressive? Dragon and Baron weren't even up yet. Was the moment too big for them? Was it sheer arrogance? Did they just lose their minds? Regardless of what it was, while Team Liquid showed much more than anyone expected, they let a golden opportunity slip away from them. This one hurts. T1, take the win and run. Run far away and don't look back. That was an ugly win, but I guess a win is a win. Zeus might have looked good, but I am honestly not sure if the better team won today. This kind of sloppy play won't fly against Gen G next round. And knowing how this works, T1 will slap Gen G around like a toddler. Their favorite pastime is making their doubters eat their words after all. I had this whole spiel ready about how Mad Lions aren't as bad as people say they are. How they were unfairly saddled with hilariously unrealistic expectations thanks to 2018 and 2019, and how no EU team could realistically live up to them. I had them winning today, or at least keeping it competitive. Yet once again, the World Championship has rolled around, and Mad Lions aren't showing up against a team they were expected to hang around with. JC was bullied by the top jungle support 3 of C9, and he made some poor build choices. Illisang and Elyoya weren't just not on the same page, they were reading entirely different books. They couldn't take advantage of Niski's good laning. Tarzi and Niski did a lot of damage, but it translated into a whopping 3 kills. The Mad Lions now fall to 1-6 against NA all time. Faith in Mad is at an all-time low, and they'll have to right the ship fast. But the star of the show is Cloud9. What a way to come out swinging and bring hope to a region that didn't have any. Thanks to a middling MSI, not finishing the job in summer, and certain events that shall not be named before the tournament, Cloud9 were not coming in with a ton of momentum. Yet Cloud9 proved why they frequently wear the title of North America's last/only international hope. Labber looked very comfortable on Taliyah. He had clean map movements, good walls, massive damage, and overall just put Elyoya in the dirt. Bud rebounded from a few rough early plays to become a massive threat on Jax. Berserker could have had a siesta in the backline, that's how untouched he was. Also, M&S was there. Cloud9 put North America on the board with an impressive performance. They can head into the next round with their heads held high in hopes for the future. Well done, boys. You successfully watched the taste of Golden Guardian's implosion and Team Liquid's base plant out of the mouths of LCS fans everywhere. Welcome to the Swiss stage, GAM Esports. As a reward for your hard work and run through the lower bracket, you get to be power bombed by the LCK first seed. You will take your 22.5-minute beating and you will like it. Don't worry, it's a rite of passage. Next match is when the run truly begins. Gen G, enjoy your free win and short workday. Delight, take a highlight reel knockup with Alistar while you're at it. You too will be getting your first real test tomorrow. Not much to say or take away for either team from this one. These such curb stomps matches are rarely a good measuring stick for either participant. JD Gaming chose to imitate one of their usual games against a low-tier LPL team. They'll randomly fall apart early as Kanavi runs it down and the top jungle battle goes south. You'll wonder if this is seriously the team everyone was hyping up. You'll wonder if they'll actually lose. And then they wake up. Turns out Ruler and Missing are really, really good at League of Legends. Knight had a field day on Ahri, and Ruler was able to weave his way out of multiple surprise Garen ambushes. 369 bounced back from a rough early game to do own things. All in all, JDG proved that they don't crumble when things go wrong, and if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Meanwhile, Team BDS can walk away proud of themselves this game, but also with some questions for the future. Adam had a very respectable show against 369. jumping out to a 1,000 gold lead early. His Garen actually worked against potentially the best team in the world, at least at the start. When the mid-game rolled around, JDG showed just why Garen is a niche pick. Knight and Ruler excellently kited him, and Knight in particular was always ready with a charm that was a signal for the entire team to blow Adam up. Why focus so much on Adam? Because the rest of BDS might as well have not even existed. Bayo had some really ugly deaths and poor positioning in crucial fights. Labrov couldn't stand up to the living cheat code that is missing, Duke was allergic to building damage, and Grani was a complete non-factor. Thus begs the question, do Team BDS have literally any strategy besides hoping Adam goes ham on the Gods champs? Can the EU4 seed really just be solved by throwing 4 bans at Adam and calling it a day? Do BDS even care if it keeps working? These are questions that will have to be answered in the coming days. One of these days, G2 Esports will learn how to win games without giving their fans heart attacks. Today is not that day. It started excellent. Ensemble busted up with Signature Draven, picked up a charitable donation from G2 Secret 6-man Kellen, and Yike worked together with Broken Blade to start a snowball on the top side. Everything was going just fine. G2 looked like they were going to cruise to an easy victory against a team whose best days were behind them. But it wouldn't be G2 without a little bit of spice, now would it?
Please don't flip it, G2.
You're saying please no, but in goes Canyon looking for it, the all-in, oh my god! They've set up DK to smack him down, and they get the Baron! Fetty has said no, but DK say, oh yes!
I still have no idea why G2 did that. That was possibly the only way D Plus gets back in the game. But G2 were feeling generous, both to their international rivals, and to us the fans for giving us yet another fine addition to our collections. Now the game gets interesting. G2 are forced to weather the storm of poke from Kana and Deft. Even with Ocean Soul, it looks like it might be too much to bear. But D Plus forgot something. Their support is Kellen. Mechanical misplays, poor decisions, Kellen has all the markings of a perfect anchor as G2 turn his Alistar into a 3 Michelin star steak dinner that can feed 5. Perhaps he simply felt bad for Yawn and wanted to show the young AD carry that supports can solo lose a game too. I applaud him for showing solidarity. G2 fortunately wrested control back and ended up strangling D+, because Maokai is a very fair and balanced champion. Minus that little slip-up, it was a solid game from all parties. Caps looked more like his old self after a down year, Mickey X did his best on a champ that wasn't quite suited for the comp, and Broken Blade performed admirably despite getting a bad matchup. Thanks to a well-rounded performance, G2 become the first LEC team to pick up a win in Stage 2 and save Europe from total disaster and embarrassment. So, you know, the usual for them. On a day where most of the Western teams had actually respectable showings, some teams had to draw the short straw. NRG was the unlucky team. Before the game even starts, why on earth is NRG drafting Kalista when Weibo is already showing Poppy? That is the definition of a self-counterpick. The game was over by the second minion wave as bot lane fell apart early for NRG and Weiwei showed up to stick the dagger in their hearts. From there, it was a complete and utter domination on every level. Xiaohu, Weiwei, and Light took turns embarrassing contracts as his Talia looked abysmal, fumbling basic combos. NRG could do absolutely nothing as Weibo Gaming rolled their way to an easy win. For NRG, being the only team from the LCS on the day who might as well have not even shown up can't feel good. At least they are honoring the traditions of the NA First Seed. While Weibo clearly outclassed NRG and weren't forced to show much, it is still an encouraging opening for the LPL 4th seed. Weiwei in particular showed up as a strong point despite being the member most commonly overshadowed on the team. Chris was a beast on Leona, and the Shy's grand return to the World Championship is heralded with a W and a strong performance on the first Break Rumble. It remains to be seen if they can keep it up against the best of the best, but if they continue to play like this, perhaps they can make a run after all. Peak Scout is upon us. May God have mercy on everyone else. The LPL MVP and one of, if not the best player in the world, put on a clinic on his ear. He piloted the control mage like he was an engaged champion with absolutely no fear. He topped the damage charts, didn't die once, and ended with 11 kills and 87% kill participation. And it's not like his supporting cast were slouches. Gallo was as good as ever with nigh perfect spacing in teamfights, and Zika and Tarzan turned around a top dive to kick the snowball off. Scout was just that good that he overshadowed everyone. Fnatic, you are both lucky enough to get a front row seat to one of the best individual performances all year, and unfortunate enough to be on the receiving end. Don't bother with hope, just witness a skill on display in Dremble and all. When you pick Renekton to Leah and still end up handing over 2 kills on your own tower dive, it's time to just back it up. Just take your loss, play your part in LNG's highlight reel, and move on to the next game. LNG, you just showed the world why so many were calling you a dark horse to win it all. While the challenges ahead will be greater, if you rise to them like you did today, that run is a very real possibility. May Scout continue to style on people until the end of time. Finally, to cap off the day, we have a battle between two titans. A battle between two teams who topped the regular season in dominant fashion before a series of unfortunate events occurred in the playoffs. If you watch them today, those playoffs look like a distant memory. This was a true heavyweight fight with both teams matching each other blow for blow. Cuz busted out the surprise Zac and practically lived in BLG's lands to put KT ahead in the mid-game. Elk had nigh inhuman reactions at points on the Xayah, weaving out of KT's big engages. It was a battle between equals, a nail-biter, and it was just unfortunate that someone had to lose it. Unfortunately for the LCK, KT drew the short stick. In matches like this, you have to play near perfect, and sadly, neither BDD nor Key knew that. BLG tore the game from KT's hands thanks to Bin's excellent Cassante. Not only can he play carries, he also looks amazing on tanks. What can't this man do? It's a slow and not at all effortless win, but BLG's small victories eventually add up to a big win as the LPL goes undefeated on the day. All four LPL teams look scary in their own special ways. I pity the teams that will have to face them. Thank you for watching. This has been Ed Warded, signing off.